So, how's it going today?
It's going really good.
Yeah.
Happy to be here. Happy to talk to you on IG Live. You're a dope artist, a dope personality, you know what I mean? So, definitely excited.
Thank you. So, would you like to introduce yourself?
I go by the name GV. You can look me up on IG, GV_BKENT. You can check out a couple of new projects that's on the way. I just dropped a video called Little Minute on YouTube, GVLILMIN, Little Minute, along with a lot of other things.
See that? And we are in New York, in Manhattan. So we are actually doing it all, isn't it? You are doing it all in music as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Like I've heard some of your rhymes on the radio, and I was really captivated by the lyrics. You know, the flow. Yeah. Everything was just so amazing. You know. So how long have you been rapping for?
I've been rapping my whole life. I want to say I've been doing poetry, writing, all types of things like that. But I've been taking it seriously at about I want to say 2012. I was in the studio. I started recording myself and understanding the whole process of making a song. And I had Brothers Keep Entertainment. That's my label, and we've been official since 2015.
Right.
Going strong.
That's really cool. So you've been passionate about music.
Definitely.
Pretty much all your life. So what? How did that passion start? What inspired you?
Well, I always loved music. And as a child, I used to listen to Bob Marley because of the adults around me. Listen to Lauryn Hill, a lot of Wu-Tang, a lot of different. You know what I mean? I'm from New York, so a lot of different like artists that really.
You listen to a lot of Wu-Tang?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I was born in Russia and I grew up in Russia. But I listen to Wu-Tang too.
Wow, that's great. You see,
when I was growing up, yeah, it's so powerful. Shaolin Shadowboxing.
Oh man. My favorite one was Method Man. How about you?
Method Man, yes, definitely Method Man or Reza. You know, what I'm saying both of them.
Yeah.
Both of them.
That's crazy. One of my favorite songs is a track with both in the morning.
Right? Yeah. But actually, after listening to Wu-Tang, that's how I started being interested in martial arts, you know, as well. But then, of course, afterwards I ran away from skinheads in Russia, and then I actually started doing Muay Thai for real.
Wow.
But the transition became when I started being interested in, you know, the martial arts by listening to Wu-Tang. You know, as a 15-year-old, 14-year-old, you know, it was like really influenced. Yeah, music is like proper powerful. It can truly tell you the stories, you know, and show you how it goes really, and it travels all around the world.
Definitely. It's like the universal language.
Yeah, because you know, like when I was growing up, it was me and the boys. I grew up with the boys, you know what I'm saying? So all the boys from the area, I was the only girl that was part of the clan.
Probably made you tougher though.
Yeah, exactly. That was really cool. So then I got a computer. So I was at the time the only one with a computer. So they used to come around to my place. So, and we would start making beats in Fruity Loops 2.5. Wow. And some of them were rapping, some of them were doing graffiti, you know what I'm saying, all around like there's a posh area in Moscow. At that time, it was all covered with graffiti.
Wow. That's dope.
It was really cool, you know, because you had like a whole mixture. It's kind of like New York.
Yeah.
Where you have the different types of people and different backgrounds all coming together, you know.
Melting pot of cultures.
Yeah. And
you can see by the way you're describing Moscow.
Yes, where I grew up, it's very similar to Manhattan.
Wow.
Literally, it's pretty much even the street. You know, they have the skyscrapers there as well. And it's kind of like a mixture of everything. At the time, you had casinos going on there 24/7 with all the gangsters coming out into the casinos.
Only imagine.
Then there was the school there, you know, with all the boys on the street doing graffiti. Then you had all the glamorous women, you know, walking around, you know, looking all glamorous and stuff.
Styles and fashion, I can only imagine.
You had a lot of poor people living there alongside extremely rich people. And then you had the president also going to the White House every morning, so the whole road would be stopped. So you had just a whole range of things happening.
It definitely sounds like
Sounds like
New York.
sounds like New York, right?
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. So what about you? You grew up in.
I grew up out here in Brooklyn, young, and I was bounced around from East Orange, New Jersey. That's right across the bridge. I also lived down south. I want to say I was 14 years old when I moved down south, down to Florida. Yeah,
Right.
so that was completely different from up here, you know, and different mentalities. I got to see what America really has in store when it comes to, you know what I mean, a lot of different people living in different regions, kind of being separated from each other. It's like a disconnect, you know. So I was able to witness that with my own eyes, and especially music, doing music, being from up here, being down there. It was like no one could even understand the language I was speaking. You know what I mean? Because I was speaking about things that they haven't seen before.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
So
like big adjustment.
what would be the things that they haven't seen that you saw here?
I wanna say the lifestyle more so. Things are a lot more fast paced out here. Down south, you're kind of more in control of your surrounding areas. You know what I mean? If you want seclusion, you can create seclusion. Out here, it's not much seclusion. You know what I mean? You're gonna have a lot of other people living different lives, having to walk in the same area. You know what I mean? So it's like a lot more chaos out here. It's easier for you to get mixed up in a lot of BS out here too.
Okay, so we found even a better spot. That's a
Back.
part of being an artist, okay? Because we're being creative on the go. All these marketing plans, this is for the bankers, okay? This is for the Wall Street. You want to plan out the whole future 1,000 years ahead? Go ahead. Good for you. Being an artist and living life as making the art of living and the life in art, and art imitates life and vice versa, life imitates life. That's what it's about. No matter where you're from, so we're in Manhattan, in New York, and we're continuing our conversation
Definitely. Good one too.
about music and just literally everything that's going on. Actually, we were talking about the music industry, isn't it?
Definitely.
So what would you think need to be changed, you know, to make the sort of the you know, to make it better for the artists and for the audiences? What do you think, like in terms of music? What would you suggest?
Well, definitely, as artists, we definitely need to mature. There's so much ignorance being promoted as a cool thing. I never understood that. Ever since I was a kid, growing up in Brooklyn, you know, I'm seeing unfortunate events happen to people, and the hype around it. It's like negativity just makes people so excited. You know what I mean? But when someone does something positive, it gets no shine. No one really cares. No one wants to talk about it, and it's enough of that. It's time for us to grow up. You know what I mean? Artists were supposed to be influential people. You can't be influential if you're ignorant.
Yeah, that's true, because that's actually what I'm always saying as well, and I can agree on this 100%, is that an artist is a person who is sharing something that the audience needs to hear.
Definitely.
It's not about what sells, it's not about trying to cater to trends, it's about being the trendsetter.
Exactly.
And the pioneer in something, and opening people's eyes on things and knowing that you have an influence. It's not about, you can't be selfish as an artist, because the minute that your songs leave the studio or your own head and your own mind, they become a part of everybody else's experience. So yeah, it's like glorified ignorance, especially promoted on social media. You know, it's not it's definitely not going to lead anywhere positive. And if you're making tunes putting somebody else down, you know, it becomes really repetitive, and it invokes anger, and too much anger.
Definitely.
In people.
It's mind numbing.
Yeah.
You know, it's easy to make songs like that, or
It's easy, like anybody can do that.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, you have genres for that. Like you have battle rap, for example.
Yeah.
So rap battles. So
And not to take away from any of
That's-
that either, because
that's
battle
the
rap
part of
is-
that. That's the
yeah.
part of that. In fact,
Yeah.
you can upgrade yourself as an MC if you're
Definitely.
participating in rap battles. But that's a genre specifically for that,
Yeah.
where you can be inventive in that. And in fact, that's where you actually have to really use your creative mind
Exactly,
to know how to
exactly,
do it. You
exactly.
can't just
There's
use
a
simple.
skill to it, yeah.
You can't just use simple punchlines. You can't. I've been working with battle rappers a lot. You know what I'm saying?
dope.
I've been recording them. You know, and there were online battles as well, like in Russia, and
Oh,
that's
that's
how.
lit. That's lit. That's lit.
And I was recording tracks for the online rap battles.
Wow.
So that's how certain artists like Oxymoron, who is like the number one rap artist in Russia, that's how I helped him, you know what I'm saying? Like, and we
That's crazy.
broke the ground there in hip hop, then introduced grime. And I was also the judge on
Wow.
rap battles as well. So I respect the genre, but that's the part, that's the place to do these things.
Yeah.
But if this becomes, it just becomes like a career, you know, a lifestyle, where it's not even about the skill or the lyrics itself. It becomes just about creating hits and likes based on the beef that can be posted on Shade Room.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like the vendettas are more exciting than the song itself. Like,
Yes.
You just like the fact that they're fueling the fire.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely. And you are saying it as someone from Brooklyn, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
And you know, I'm based in Croydon in London, and we can see similar kind of trends, you know, all
Definitely,
around the
definitely.
world. So what is your recent music like? Like, what have you recently released in terms of tracks or mixtapes? Or
Oh, okay. Well, my music definitely travels with me. So like I'm in a transitioning part of my life where I've been able to kind of weed out all the bad energies around me. I've always been doing that, but it's like as you get older, you know, it's harder to tell because you'll be around people that you know for years. But it's very important, especially as an artist, if you're trying to really better yourself and absorb higher frequencies and really become the best version of you. You can't have anybody around you that's gonna bring you down even a little bit, because just that little negativity within them is gonna show within you. It's gonna affect you definitely. Like there's no way around that. You can't think you're gonna be able to sustain yourself and have that negative energy around you. It's gonna feed off you. So I definitely show that within my music. I haven't released yet, but I've been performing a track called Teamwork, and it's been picking up steam. Total excellence amongst men is what it represents. And I just released a video, Little Minute, like I spoke about earlier. Towards the end of last year, I released the video for Tunnels. I'm just warming people up because I have a mixtape dropping. It's called Trapped by the Palm Tree.
Woo!
Yeah, so that was kind of show you about the ups and downs from being from New York and traveling down south, and just like when you learn certain things and you try to apply it to your life, you're gonna get pushback, especially if it goes against the norm. You know what I mean? So Trapped by the Palm Tree definitely embodies that. And I have an extra treat for everybody. I've been working with strictly Brooklyn-based producers, and I've been coming up with an album to follow up Trapped by the Palm Tree. It's called Survivor's Guilt. So that's where Teamwork is from. It's a lot of music I'm gonna get ready to drop. I'm just excited. I'm just in the wrapping up phase right now. So as soon as it's all ready, you're definitely gonna hear the noise coming out of GV Brothers Keep Entertainment out here in Brooklyn.
Yes, and you're one of those people who is always trying to be yourself and pushing your own ideas and the message that you have, rather than trying to promote what everybody else is doing.
Definitely.
Like, people were telling you how you should be doing this type of songs,
all
you
the
know,
time.
but it's not really what you are about. So you're still creating your own lane, and that's what it's about. It's about being yourself and finding your true freedom to speak out and to be yourself. We're not here to just be puppets and copycats.
Exactly.
I mean,
exactly.
it's actually the time to be truly individual, not in a fake way, but actually truly individual and represent who you are, and not be afraid of that, because that's what being fearless is about.
Definitely.
I think that takes a lot of courage.
Definitely.
You know.
Definitely.
So, do you have you done any music videos?
Yes. I have about 5 on my channel right now. If you look up Brothers Keeper Entertainment, GB Brothers Keeper Entertainment, you'll see about 5 videos on there. And I'm gonna release some more videos too, especially when Trap Out of Palm Tree actually drops. I'm gonna have videos released from there, and Survivors Guild the same way. And with my videos, I like to go a little in depth. I like to make them like little short films. I definitely love like the storylines and music itself. When you hear a beat by itself, it has a storyline to it. When you add lyrics to it, you're creating its own different story. So when you put a visual behind it, it's like a third parallel that you're creating. You know what I mean? So I take that very seriously. So I definitely make sure that my videos are gonna grab you when you see them, and they're gonna make sense as you watch them in order. You're gonna see how one leads to the other, and I'm gonna continue that trend.
So you're a true storyteller.
Definitely. Come on.
This is what it's about. It's about telling stories, not just dropping random tunes just because that's what's out there, trying to get the clicks and the likes. No, it's about telling the story, and one comes out of another. I definitely support that. Like I that's how I create as well. You know, my second album comes out of the first album. You know, it's a continuous journey.
Off of it.
Yeah.
Definitely, as life should be. You know what I mean? So if you're gonna express yourself through music, you should feel that through the projects, definitely. And I've been able to hear some of your music, and I'm definitely impressed. You know what I mean? I definitely feel the spirit and the heart and the passion through it, and that's what automatically drew me to your music and your energy itself.
Thank you. Yes, you know, I make hip hop beats, I make grime beats. You know, I make all kind of beats. So that is definitely, you know, something also that's a part of me. You know, hip hop has always been part of my life, and at the same time, you know, I feel like through hip hop as well, I think a lot of artists need to remember as well is that why they are the lyricists, why they are here to speak the word, because words are powerful.
Yes.
Isn't it? And that's why you have the lyrics out there, you know, to not just be just a random bunch of
words,
gibberish.
Yeah, every word is supposed to be on that song purposely.
Yeah.
You know, definitely.
Every word, every vowel.
Yeah, down to the way it's said.
Yeah. Do you take a lot of like you take that very seriously, isn't it? When you write your lyrics.
Definitely.
It's not just.
Can't just say whatever. It has to be for a reason. And a lot of times, I mean, you deal with words too. You know, there's a million ways to say one thing. So even the way you choose to say that one thing, you know what I mean, was important. Maybe it went perfectly with the vibe or the energy the beat created also. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or maybe you wanted to get 2 messages across at the same time.
Yes. And maybe you wanted to insert double rhyming in that as well.
Definitely you want to kill that multi real quick and let them know what you could do with it.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many ways to say the same thing, and also you have to cater to different audiences and speak their language so that they will understand what you're saying. That's how words become so powerful. And of course, I totally get it, because you know, in songs that I write as well, I pay a lot of attention to the lyrics that I write. I use certain metaphors, you know, I create metaphors just out of my head. So even there's a fun part I like to do when you hear a sentence and it sounds like one thing, but it's only when you read it, it's actually the other thing, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Because English language can be interested in that sense.
Yeah, so you play on that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Use it to your advantage, the fact.
Yeah.
Definitely, it's cool.
Yeah. I know.
You see, when you're just saying random words, you're not exercising any of those literary devices.
Exactly. And who cares about just some temporary recognition on social media if it doesn't last for a long time. If it's not something that you can show to your children or show to generations to come, that you were actually creating something that meant as part of being the description of the era of the time, you know, so that people could look into that and think like, yeah, okay, now I know about that's a stamp of those times, that place, that's cool. Thank you for sharing it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if it's just random stuff, then nobody can relate to it.
Yeah, your kid's not gonna care if you got 100 likes.
Yeah.
That's just the truth.
Yeah, so we're here to create longevity, and we're here to create stories and take you on a journey. And as I said, like, you know, it's just like in my album Legends on the Map, we are putting legends on the map.
Definitely.
It's not just thinking that you know, not caring is the way. It's about opening your eyes and realizing that the everyday people can put the legends on the map. They are the legends on the map.
They have that.
They can put that, if you really put your mind to it and exercise your potential, that's what it's about.
Wow,
You know?
that's crazy you say that, because just as you say that, I'm thinking it's not even just about re-inspiring the artists nowadays, it's re-inspiring the listeners too.
Yes.
I think maybe the listeners lost their inspiration or lost their sense of feeling like they put that artist up there. You know what I mean? It's more like they're being given artists to like from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To choose from. And it's like we have to re-inspire the listener the same way we have to re-inspire the artists nowadays too.
Yes, we have to totally create that change, because now is the time. We're at crossroads of history, actually, right now, with all this technology, that we have to, as humanity, realize the potential that we have, so that we use it the correct way and use the technology in a way that it helps people and doesn't overtake them. You know, the whole AI thing, it can take way overboard, and humans are not being valued as they're supposed to be. So the ignorance and the glorifying of not caring and just going about your money and your business and that's it, and it doesn't matter what happens to the rest of the world and what's happening to even your neighbor, you know what I'm saying, or your relative, it can lead to a disaster, you know. So that's what it's about. It's actually about right now connecting, because we have the technology to connect, but are people really connected? Are they really truly connected, or were they connected before all of this technology existed? In these times, in these modern times. So through art and through music, that's how we can make it happen.
Definitely.
Across the world,
right.
Brooklyn, Manhattan,
All the way down to London.
all the way down to London, Russia, everywhere. You know, India, China. We can take it worldwide. And music is a universal language.
I hope we don't take it for granted, because just like you said, we're more connected because of technology, but it's like now we have that disease of not caring.
Yes.
It's like now that we're finally connected, we made it across the finish line, so we can finally be able to unite each other, and we're not doing it.
Within split seconds, you can unite with the whole world.
Wow. Yeah. It's crazy when you look at
It's
it
so
like
powerful. Everybody has a platform now. Everybody can have a voice.
Definitely.
But do the people have the voice? Do the people realize that they have the power? Because it is the time for people to have the power.
Definitely.
For the real world type of understanding all around the world. And that will bring true multiculturalism, not the forced one, not the fake one, not when you're told to pretend. No, actually, truly caring is that what will make you understand people from other countries, other places.
Definitely.
Yeah, and that is the way.
No, definitely. That sharing of minds the right way. Not through just you know what I mean, how we're told to do it. You know what I mean? There's no real free thinkers anymore. Everyone believes they're free thinkers, just like we were speaking about earlier. But there's no real free thinkers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because sometimes the people who are thinking that they're a free thinker only following either the status quo, just because there is controlled opposition that's created against the status quo. So both of them are controlled.
Yeah.
You know, but actually being a free thinker means not following either of those.
Exactly.
And at the same time, understanding the truth, the underlying truth that is happening. So being a free thinker doesn't mean that it's just because what you think is against somebody. You know, because that against could be controlled opposition. It could also be created as fake news, you know, fake knowledge.
You're definitely one of the free thinkers. Like, what inspires you to start thinking this way? Like, what helped you break the mold of everyday thinking? Because it's so easy to fall into that.
I have always been that way from childhood, and I actually was born in Soviet Union. And at the time I was already feeling like if I don't fit in with the surroundings, then I might just be myself.
Definitely.
So from my childhood, I was already exercising that. You know, I created stories. I was writing like mini books when I was like 6-7 years old. I created a whole imaginary planet that I was telling my friends about. So I told my friends that I came from that planet. That was my story.
They believed you?
Some of them did, because I created a game out of it, you know? So they were playing the game with me. So they were also aliens on that planet.
They're like,
and we were flying all across the space. So at that point, I just created an explanation to me why I'm different, you know?
Word. I mean, not from that, you probably were definitely drawing from real experiences, though. Because it's like, you may have not been an alien, but you felt that your spirit was sent, and you had a different realization to yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You didn't associate yourself to what you were just seeing. You know that there was so much more. It was almost like you connected to yourself. You connected yourself to the universe from childhood just by putting that in your mind. You know what I mean?
Yes, and also from the start, you know, I knew that I came here with a specific purpose.
Yeah, definitely.
And I have to fulfill it, and that purpose is actually breaking down anything that is getting in the way of people coming together in the world. It's actually, I came up with, you know, with certain, based on the knowledge that I have and experiences that I've had, I have a certain vision on how this world can come together. So I know I came here for that. And that might be totally different to some of the current ways that the society is telling people to be. It's actually, what I'm trying to tell people is how to change the society to make it better, how people can change within themselves. So I'm prepared to do it a different way, completely different way. And I never follow the bandwagons. I'm going the opposite way. If there's a bandwagon, I'm running away completely, you know. But I know that it's also a part of my purpose in this life to do that. So it has always been that, but I felt it within my heart for pretty much my entire life. Now, you know, as the years go by, you know even more exactly what you need to do.
Exactly.
So even with my albums, you know, they come completely directly from my heart, you know, and from what I feel and what I'm saying. They have nothing to do with following some kind of trends or anything like that. If I'm putting a certain musical influence in there, it's because I actually feel that influence. So if I'm putting, I don't know, trap music, you know what I'm saying, elements of trap music, of trap beat in that vibe, is because that's the vibe I like, not because I'm trying to jump into something. But then I'm putting certain lyrics that is not usually used on trap tracks. Exactly. So it's still completely different, you know. Yeah. So on that note, let's stay true to ourselves. Let's be real. Yeah. This is the truth. Alchemist TV, Multivision Music Worldwide.
Words are powerful. GV, man, coming out of New York.
Yes.
For your time.
Thank you. Jahna Sebastian here. New York to London connection. Peace.